Okay, so we've got everything live streaming is active and recording. Good evening, councillors, officers and members of the public. I declare this ordinary council meeting of the Shire of Broome open at 5:02 p.m. Could I ask those in the public gallery to now switch off their mobile telephones and electronic devices in accordance with the conditions of entry to the council chambers public gallery. In accordance with Regulation 14I of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996, this meeting is being audio and video recorded and live streamed on the Shire's website. Under Clause 6.16 of the Shire's Meeting Procedures Local Law 2020, I do not give permission for any other person to record the proceedings of this meeting. By being present at this meeting, members of the public consent to the possibility that their image and voice may be live streamed to the public. Recordings are also made available on the Shire's website following the meeting. Please note that any items discussed behind closed doors will not be live streamed. However, once the meeting is open again to the public, live streaming will recommence. To ensure the live streaming volume is maintained, councillors, please remember to turn your microphone on prior to speaking and speak clearly and directly into the microphone. Once you have finished speaking, please turn your microphone off. Item 2, apologies and attendance. Councillor Lewis is on an approved leave of absence. Councillor Smith requested and has been granted approval to attend this meeting electronically via Microsoft Teams in accordance with Administration Regulation 14CA and 14C5. Councillor Smith, as per the Administration Regulation 14CA5, can you please confirm that you can maintain confidentiality during the meeting, including during any closed part of the meeting?
Yes, I can.
Thanks, Councillor Smith. And Councillor Matsumoto has an application for leave of absence, which will come up a little bit later in the agenda. Announcements by presidents. President, there is none. Declarations of interest. Councillor Virgo has declared a financial interest under 9.3.1, renewal of trading and public placing licences, Camels. Councillor Virgo is the General Manager of the Broome Visitor Centre, and both Camelot companies have a paid membership with the Broome Visitor Centre. There are no indirect financial interests. There are no proximity interests. Councillor Mahmood has declared an impartiality interest in 9.2.1, development application, equine assisted learning facility and construction of horse stables. Councillor Mahmood is an unpaid committee member of the advisory group. I have declared an impartiality interest in the agenda item 9.31, renewal of trading in public places licence, Camels. It's an impartiality interest. Reason for my interest is I'm a volunteer coordinator for a wildlife group that operates a rehab facility adjacent to the camel operators' licensed areas. Extent of my interests, I'm a volunteer at the rehab centre, non-financial, and we're just adjacent property to those licences. Is there any other declarations by councillors?
Can I just make a point of clarity?
Yes.
My conflict is due to being formally on that Cultural Governance Committee.
Yep. Okay, thanks. Okay, moving on. Public question time. Do we have any public questions from the floor? We've only got one member of the public by the look of it. You have no questions for us? Thank you. Saves me reading out 3 paragraphs of spiel. As there's no public questions, I'll declare that public question time is now closed. Item 6, applications for leave of absence. There's a recommendation that Council grants Councillor P. Matsumoto a leave of absence from councillor duties inclusive of 16 September 2025 through to 28 September 25. Just on that one, we're backdating it to Tuesday's workshop, but it's up to councillors if they're happy with it. Councillor Virgo, Councillor Taylor, no dissent. Okay, that's carried. Item 7, confirmation of minutes. That the minutes of the ordinary meeting of council held on 28 August 2025, as published and circulated, be confirmed as a true and accurate record of that meeting. Do I have Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Cooper seconding? Any questions, dissent? If not, I declare that carried. Thank you. Moving on, item 8, presentation petitions, deputations. There are none. Item 9, reports from officers. People, there are no items to discuss. Item 9.2.1 is the development application, equine assisted learning facility and construction of horse stables, page 7. The Director of Development and Community advises that the report recommendation has been amended following the agenda briefing with an additional condition added, 1L. So, councillors, are you aware of that amended item? Okay, thank you. So you have that agenda item and recommendation. Do I have direction from council? So moved, Councillor Cooper. Yeah. Seconded, Councillor Virgo. Any questions? If not, any...
Sorry,
no.
through the chair. I just want to reiterate what was asked on Tuesday, just for the benefit of anyone in viewing. There was obviously some correspondence received from...
It's a confidential item. I don't name the person.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not
good.
naming
Okay,
anyone.
yeah.
Sorry, a member of the public. If you let me finish. Goodness me, expressing concerns about the horses being exercised in areas that are otherwise prohibited without a licence. And I understand there's argy-bargy going on there about that, but the officers are fully aware of that complaint, and we just want to reiterate that outside of this, we understand this is a development application and we're dealing with a development application within a certain boundary, but anything that breaches outside of that, we will continue to monitor for compliance and issue any appropriate action if that occurs.
Yeah.
Through the Chair, yes, that's exactly correct. Through the local law, that's a very separate issue for the development application. And as part of our local laws, we will investigate that. But that's, yeah, very similar to the consideration of the application that we have today.
Thank you, Director. Is there any dissent on this item? If there's no dissent, I'll declare that item carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.3.1, renewal of trading in public places licences, Camels, page 85. Councillor Burgo has declared a financial interest in this item, and she has now left the chambers while this item is being deliberated. Oh. Okay, councillors, we have a report recommendation on that item. Do I have any direction? Councillor Taylor moving. Councillor Mahmood is seconding. Okay. Any questions? Any dissent? Declared that one carried unanimously. Can we have Councillor Burgo back into the chambers, please? Councillor Virgo, that motion, the officer recommendation was moved as a motion. Okay, thank you. And carried unanimously. Yep. Thank you. Moving on, item 9.4.1 under performance. Monthly payment listing, August 2025, page 105. There's a report recommendation there. Direction from Council. Councillor Virgo moving, Councillor Cooper seconding. Any clarification? Any dissent? I declare that carried unanimously. Moving on, item 10, reports of committees. There are none. 11, notices of motion with notice. There is none. Item 12, notices of motion without notice. There is none. Item 13, business of an urgent nature. There is none. Item 14, meeting closed to the public. There are no confidential items to discuss. And item 15, meeting closure. So there being no further business, I declare the meeting closed at 5:11 p.m. And can I please confirm the audio and recording has ended?
5:14.
I've got 5. It's now 5:12. A confirmed closing the audio. We're finished.